what is going on, everyone? This is just a reminder, if you will. A reminder that with the NBA drama that's going around with the offseason, be careful. Just be careful and don't get sucked into every little thing and every little report that goes out there, because you know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a wild ride, and there are some stories that I will follow. There is some nonsense as well, and I'm here to embrace the journey, but you need to realize that there's going to be a ton of information, a ton of headlines to try and grab your clickbait. It's just so much that's going to be involved in this offseason that begins Sunday night. With that being said, there's stories out there with Jimmy Butler in Houston, and I'm not saying it's impossible to happen, but hear me out. Woj, who is very respected, there's definitely respect out there when it comes to what Woj puts out there. But he has this big show, this big free agency show that's on ESPN last night. He needs something to spark up the headlines. A big player, a splash. He's not going to open up the show with what Kyle Korver is going to do. It's just not how it's going to work. Nick Stauskas. Those aren't players that Woj is going to open the show up with. Who not even open the show up with, realistically talk about throughout the entire show itself. So he's going to throw out a report saying the Houston Rockets are interested in Jimmy Butler. Take it for what it is. Okay. A lot of people are interested. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not doubting the Houston Rockets are interested. I'm not doubting that they're trying to move Clint Capella and Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker to make some cap space so they can try and get Jimmy Butler. I'm not saying that's not true. But keep in mind the way it's worded. For example, I saw another report out there. Well, if the Golden State Warriors don't offer Klay Thompson a max, he's open to the Clippers. Well, okay, you look at it and say, wow. Well, think about it. You really think the Golden State Warriors won't offer Klay Thompson a max contract? And realistically, when you take a look at that, you say, let's see. Money means a lot to these players. At the end of the day, there's only one team that can offer Jimmy Butler that full max contract, that extra year, that big-time bucks. There's only one squad. So as much as Houston wants to move around all these pieces and try and get Jimmy Butler to demand a sign and trade, that still costs him a lot of money. And that's what it comes down to. And it's not just this story here. There's going to be so much. Kevin Durant opted out of his contract, which doesn't really surprise anyone. Now, he's in New York, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. Is it really the Knicks? Do you really think he's going to sign with the Nets? There's going to be headlines all over the place. Just don't get too sucked in. Take it for what it is. Go to the second level thinking. I understand, though. I understand sparking up the juice of the story. I understand Woj saying that Houston wants Jimmy Butler. I know. Because people want to hear that. People want to hear about the stars. People want to hear about noise that's surrounding these moves and what's going to occur. We don't care about Nick Stauskas, James Ennis. You don't. No one cares about the 8th, 9th, 10th man off the bench. It's about who's going to change franchises. Sunday night. Well, the one thing, I'm pumped for Sunday night is what I was getting to there, but I just thought of another point. The one thing that's going to be good about this, there's going to be people who stretch it out because they really don't know and they want to hear the options and they want to hear what this team has to say, that team has to say. But we've witnessed what baseball off seasons were like. And coming from a Philadelphia sports fan, I witnessed the Bryce Harper sweepstakes, which was the longest and so brutal. It won't be like that. I don't think it will be like that. There's more structure involved here. Because for the most part, whether it's 2, 3 teams, there's not 10 teams on one player. There's only a certain amount of squads that can hand out the max. There's only a certain amount of squads, like the Sixers, who can offer a player a bigger contract than anyone else. So it won't be so brutal and long like the MLB offseason was when it came to Manny Machado and Bryce Harper. Where are they going? Are they going to sign yet? Day 653. No one signed yet. And bringing it back full circle to how this all started with the Jimmy Butler news, I just don't see it happening. It's a far stretch. It's a really, really far stretch for the Rockets to get what they want, to get enough money. And like I said, even if they do somehow generate cap space by sending PJ Tucker to a team, sending Clint Capella to another team, and sending Eric Gordon to a third team, trying to make as much cap room as they can without using the Sixers just to try and sign Jimmy Butler on their own, they're still going to be a year short. And they're still going to be millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars short. I want Jimmy Butler here. Jimmy Butler's a dog. Jimmy Butler's that guy to go to in the fourth. Jimmy Butler's a different beast. I want him here. And I know Elton Brand wants him here. I can't see Elton Brand sugarcoating this. I can't see him beating around the bush. Yo, Jimmy, you got your 5 years, you got your monster money, you got the direct deposit in there right now once you sign this dotted line. Come here. We're not playing that game. And Jimmy saw what this team was made of. Jimmy has a comfort level because he's been here. I feel like the team's going to run it back. I do. I feel like the team is going to run it back. Tobias at 26. Bring him over here. It might cost you a lot and bring him over here. I think he had a down year here, but I don't expect it. I expect Tobias Harris to be better than he was. I do. And I know I mentioned earlier about no one caring about the 9th, 10th man. In regards to national media, in regards to when Woj is going to break news, but in regards to the Sixers, since I care about their 9th, 10th man and things like that, it seems like the Sixers are targeting Terrence Ross, and I like that move. Now, last year he costed about $10.5 million with his contract, 15 points per game, 38% from 3. What does that mean for J.J. Redick, though, if that's the case? Will he stay? Is this a replacement for J.J. Redick? I do like what Terrence Ross brings to the table, though. And I like the fact that that's a name that we are reportedly going after. As much as I was pissed off about the draft and Thibault and what we could have got in Ty Jerome and shooters, I believe in Elton Brand. I think he's got a path. I think he has a road that he's following. And I trust that he's going to execute it. Because he has balls. He's determined. And let's see if he can execute. It comes down to executing. But all around, it's crazy. It's a crazy time of the year. Franchises are going to be changed. There's going to be a ton of different players on different teams. There's going to be a ton of articles out there and a ton of reports. Just be careful with what you get sucked into. Don't believe all the little stuff, the stupid little minor things. Focus on the big picture. And when Woj reports things similar to this Houston news and similar to Klay Thompson would be open to the Clippers if he doesn't get a max, think about it. Don't you think the Warriors are going to give Klay Thompson a max and keep Steph Curry and Klay Thompson together now that KD opted out of his player option? That doesn't mean they're not going to try and keep Kevin Durant, but don't you think they're going to offer Klay the max? It's a big headline. It screams a lot. Wow, Klay can move. Think about it. And similar to this Houston thing, think about it. That's great. Houston wants Jimmy Butler. But what can the Sixers offer that's more? A lot. The Sixers shown they're ready to go. They're ready to compete. Another year older with these star players that are young. Another year together, a full year together. Compared to that turmoil in Houston. Just think about things before you get all emotional about reports. Because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot. Thank you so much for listening. See you guys next time.